inaugural Two Girls, One Tip Tuesday telecast by Hungry Entrepreneurs. I'm Annie Passanisi, and with me today I have arguably the best speaking business coach on the planet, Lois Creamer, who is actually on this side. There we go. Lois works with professional speakers who, now tell me if I get this right, want to book more business, make more money, and avoid costly mistakes. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yay! She's also a very close friend, and like I said, my personal coach, and arguably the best of the best. I don't mind saying it. So
Let's
thank you so much for
eliminate the
being
word
here with us
arguably.
today.
Let's just eliminate
Not
the word
arguably.
arguably.
Hands down, bar none.
Okay.
Period. Definitive.
Thank you.
So, welcome and thank you for being with us. Here we have
Thank
only
you.
two juicy questions.
Great.
The first one, are you ready? Is, if I can remember it. Okay, there we go. What was something that you struggled with as a hungry entrepreneur?
Yeah. This question was not a hard one for me. Early on in my business, I did not realize that sometimes you have to spend money to make money. And I'll tell you what happened. I got called, like I was 10 minutes into business. And I got called from a speaker friend of mine who was familiar with my work. And he asked me to come to the International Center at the National Speakers Association and present a program on marketing. And I said to him, I can't do that because I just started my business. I'd have to fly out there. I'd have expenses. Oh my gosh, I just don't think I can do that. And he said to me, I'm going to wait 48 hours before I invite someone in this slot, and you let me know what you think. Just then I happened to get a call from a friend of mine, and he said, how are you doing? And I said, well, not so good. I got a great invitation, and I turned it down because I didn't want to fly to Phoenix and spend a lot of money. And he said, I don't care whether you have to mortgage your house. Get on the plane, get out there, and do this gig. I've been in speaking 25 years, and I've never been invited to present at the International Center as a subject matter expert. Wow. And you've been in business 10 minutes. Well, I mean, I was sweating. So I quickly called my friend Ray. I called him back, and he said, hello. I said, Ray, it's Lois. He said, Lois, how you doing? I said, not so good. He said, why? And I said, well, someone has been answering my phone claiming to be me, making horrible business decisions on my behalf. The upshot, this totally true story, the upshot of this was, I went out to Phoenix, I did my little thing, and I walked out with 5 two-day consulting packages booked. 5 contracts booked. And I was invited to my first chapter of National Speakers Association in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to do my first chapter event. And in the last 10 years, I've been to every chapter in the United States and Canada. But this was a decision I almost didn't take advantage of. And so think carefully. I know money is always hard to come by when you're starting. But the reality is, if you don't have a little seed money, you may not be ready to start. So don't do what I did.
That is so awesome.
Don't think short term. That was my big blunder, Annie. That turned out okay.
It's so funny.
Thank God.
I was just telling Jenny, my partner Jenny, that last night I went to a networking event and was really networking as hungry entrepreneurs for the first time. And I was buying appetizers and I was schmoozing and my credit card got declined. I'll admit it for sake of transparency. I'll totally admit that it happens. But yes, Yes, sometimes it takes money to make money, and you also need to know how much money you have, which I lost sight of
That's a good one.
apparently. But it's all good.
Yeah.
So the second question,
You
which
could
I
have
know
called
is
me.
right up
You
your
could have called
alley.
me.
Yeah. Lois, I bought all these appetizers. That
I
was very
need a
terrible. All right,
margarita.
speaking of
I
appetizers,
need a gin and
I
tonic.
had one earlier.
Okay.
No, it was World Whiskey Day. Anyway, speaking of appetizers, the second question
Yes.
is, what is one super juicy tip guaranteed to put food on the table?
Uh, I'm going to make this a two-parter. Can I do that? Am I allowed to do that?
Of course you can. You can make it a
Okay.
seven-parter, whatever you want.
Uh, won't do that. Don't assume anyone's that interested in what I have to say. But you must be able to communicate what you do in a compelling manner. This is attraction marketing. And so be
I
careful
like that.
not to define what you do. Rather try and appeal to people on an emotional level. So if I let's just use a wild example. Let's say I was starting an organization called, I don't know, Hungry Entrepreneurs. What I would want to do would be to speak in results language to get people interested in what I do. Now, I went to your website and you did something really well. The first thing I noticed was, and you're going to have to correct me on the exact way you put this, but
Hmm.
so far no ramen noodles.
Yep,
And
ramen
that
noodle free
was
since
very clever.
2012.
And, for anyone who's been to college and had to pay their own expenses a lot of the time, they know exactly what you're talking about. But in thinking about starting a business, what are the results you can help people obtain? That's the language
Love
that you
that.
want to speak in. Okay? And then the second part is, don't reinvent the wheel. Find a
Hmm.
business that has somewhat similar. You're not going to find anything, I hope, exactly alike it, because I think it's very unique, which is why I love your idea. But find something that has some traits that are common and see what they are doing well. So you don't have to just totally invent everything. And the one thing also that you need to do in the communication vein is tell everybody, everywhere, all the time, anywhere, all the time, everywhere, what you do. Because if they might not need what you do, they might know someone who needs what you do. So as you all begin this great adventure, look at what people have already done that's been successful. People want content, content, content. Borrow content. Like go to my blog, bookmorebusiness.com, use any blog posts that you think would be helpful to your people. Others love to be invited to share content with you. Let them do it. But those are some of my key things, I think, as you start. And I think that this is a great idea. I think there's great uniqueness. Your challenge is like all of our challenges when we start out, and that's being able to communicate in a compelling way the outcomes that you can help people reach. And really, that
I think
outcome
that
is
that is
success.
so incredibly profound. It just because I don't want to knock anyone else's work. That's something that we on the site strive to never do. But I do feel
Yes.
like culturally in these businesses, there's a lot of elevated language that isn't necessarily results driven. And I think that the idea of having this attraction marketing and this results language is so unique, and it's commonsensical, but it's really rare. So and I think it is a direct appeal. So that was amazing, as I knew it would be. Will you do me one more
Well,
favor
let
and
me
tell our adoring people? Go ahead.
let me just give you an
Go ahead.
example of what I'm talking about, just real quick.
Okay.
And Annie, you're familiar with
Yeah.
this because you know me. We've worked together. When I first started my business, I told people, look, I run a consultancy for professional speakers, and I help them to communicate what they want to do. I help them get business. I tell them where to go to get business, what to say, what to do, how to follow up, how to leverage their business, yada, yada, yada. And I noticed their eyes were starting to glaze. And I realized then, people don't want the total definition of what you do. They want to know what's the outcome. So I changed it, and now I say I work with speakers who want to book more business, make more money, and avoid costly mistakes.
Love
And
it.
then if they want to
Love
know
it. Love
more,
it. Love it.
they have to ask me. And
Now,
so
how do they get to you?
that's
That's my next thing. How
how do
find
they
you
get to
when
me?
they're dying for more? Mm-hmm.
Anybody can find me on bookmorebusiness.com, and I've got a blog there that I think would be helpful to a lot of entrepreneurs, quite frankly, because I think speaking is a great way to get business. And
Yeah.
you can sign up so you don't miss a post. It's all free. I've got free articles on there. And if you call and you say these magic words, hungry entrepreneur, I'm happy to talk with you anytime.
And Twitter. You are an avid tweeter.
I'm an avid tweeter at Lois Creamer. And I hope
Which
that
is
we're going to be we're going to see
CREAMER.
thank you. Thank you. And I hope soon we're going to see a tweet chat, a hungry entrepreneur tweet chat, and a hungry
You know
entrepreneur
you're gonna
LinkedIn
be
group.
there. There is a Hungry Entrepreneur LinkedIn group, and I will add you immediately.
Good. I'm really
But
thrilled because this is going to be a big thing for you. I'm happy about this.
yay! Well, I love you very much, and I think that you're brilliant. This was exactly what I think we needed to kick off this Two Girls, One Tip Tuesday telecast. We'll be here every Tuesday with another genius. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to the amazing Lois Creamer for being with us today.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Love you. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome.